What's going on, everybody? DJ here with Foco Gaming, bringing you another video to the channel. Today we are talking about, we're talking about the one game that I have not talked about on this channel at all, and that is, of course, Crimson Desert. This is the game that has been having everyone pretty much talk about gaming over the last few weeks or a few months or the year or whatever. I saw Crimson Desert like for the first time. Man, honestly, I don't remember. It was probably like a year ago, maybe, when it first like came on my radar or whatever. And I was like, oh, that game looks cool, and that was it. Like, that's all I thought. And then I kept seeing it just pop up and pop up and pop up, like people covering and stuff. And I was like, yo, this game looks dope. So I was like, fuck it, let's pre-order it, let's see what we got. And then like the game just has so much to it that I was like, yo, how the hell is this shit gonna run on my Legion Go? Because before I buy games, right, I always think like, damn, am I gonna be able to do a video on this on my Legion Go? Like, is it gonna be able to perform well? Is it gonna piss me off and just run super slow and I'm gonna just get mad? Like fucking Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League and My Hero Academia. But today they dropped specifications. They even dropped it for the ROG Xbox Ally, which coincides with the Lenovo Legion Go. So let's talk about it. So PC specifications, because of course I am on PC, or I am gonna have the game on PC. I also play PlayStation, but let's go over this, and I'll throw up the graphic on the screen here as well so you guys can kind of follow along. But minimum settings, it says graphics presets minimum upscaled to 1080p from 900p, and that'll run at 30 FPS. GPU is the AMD Radeon RX 5500 XT and the fucking GTX 1060. Is crazy because that's super old. CPU is the AMD Ryzen 5 2600X or an Intel i5 8500. RAM OS and storage all across the board, no matter what, is 16 gigabytes of RAM. Windows 10, 22H2 or newer, and then 150 gigabytes SSD. Look, that's a huge file size, but we cannot be shocked for the shit that's been said about this game, so let's not act surprised. All right, the low graphics preset says 1080p at 30 FPS. The RX 6500 XT, or again the 1660, and then that says Ryzen 5 2600X and the Intel i5 8500. Recommended graphics, which is the medium preset, 1080p at 60 FPS, 4K at 30 FPS. That runs with the 6700 XT, or the lower, or the lowest side on NVIDIA would be the RTX 2080. Ryzen 5 5600, Intel i5 11600K. I don't deal with Intel, so I'm not sure how good these Intel ones are. So, you know, kudos to you Intel people for making it. High graphics preset, we're looking at 1440p at 60 frames per second. It's crazy. 7700 XT or the RTX 4070. So I currently am using the 3070. I have a 5070. I just haven't opened it yet because I really don't know. I'm trying to sell this 3070, honestly, or maybe use it in another build. I haven't really decided, but this is high graphics presets on the 4070. So I'm pretty sure the 3070 will probably run at that medium preset, maybe, or probably on the high settings with some DLSS. We'll see how that goes. Ultra preset, 4K 60 FPS 9070 XT on the 5070 Ti, and that is the AMD Ryzen 7 7700X or the Intel i5 i3600K. So those are your PC specifications. Let's go to console specifications, which is kind of funny, and you'll see, and I'll tell you why, because Xbox, LOL. So standard PlayStation. Let's talk about the standard PlayStation. That is the original PlayStation disc version, discless version, and PS5 Slim. So performance mode, resolution is 1080p. Target performance is going to be 60 FPS VSync and 60 FPS VRR. Ray tracing on low again for the balance. And then you have 40 FPS with VSync on. and then upscale to 4K from 1280p using FSR3. Quality preset, you're looking at upscaled to 4K from 1440p, FSR3, and 30 FPS with VSync and ray tracing high. Oh shit, I just got off of it. I'm sorry. Ray tracing is on high. Then we go down to the Xbox Series S. The Xbox Series S, which has been the bane of this current generation's existence, because of course a lot of developers have a hard time getting their games to run on the Series S, which causes some delays from here and there. So 720p on performance, 1080p on quality, and then 1080p on no. I'm sorry. The Xbox Series S only gets performance and quality. 1080p or 720p. You're gonna have 40 FPS on 720, 30 FPS on 1080, and then that's with ray tracing off on both of them. So if you have an Xbox Series S, LOL. I'm sorry for you. I'm so sorry. All right, let's talk about the Series X performance. We're looking at 1080p, 60 FPS, VSync, 60 plus FPS with VRR, and low ray tracing. Balance, same thing as the base PS5. That is upscaled 4K from 1280p to FSR3. You have 60 frames per second VSyncs and low ray tracing. And then quality upscaled from 4K is 30 FPS VSync, ray tracing high from 1440p. With FSR3. So, and then to the Big Daddy himself, the PS5 Pro, which honestly, if I didn't have a PC, I would probably get the game on PS5 Pro. That's just me. Performance, you're looking at upscaled to 4K from 1080p using PSSR. And I'm guessing that would be the PSSR 2. 60 FPS VSync, 60 plus FPS VRR. That's variable refresh rate, by the way, so that just depends on your monitor. Ray tracing is high on that's performance, y'all. Balance is upscaled to 4K from 1440p using the upgraded PSSR. That's 40 FPS with VSync on, or 48 FPS plus with VRR, ray tracing high. And then quality, you have 4K, 30 FPS with VSync, and that's ultra ray tracing. So this game is optimized out the ass when it comes to what we're reading right now. Max specifications, which is weird for them to have. But graphics presets. So this is what it says for Mac. It says performance specs, upscale resolution, target FPS, Mac OS 15, Mac OS 26 plus, Metal FX upscale, Mac OS. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. This is just reading across the board. So minimum for this Mac, let's see, 720p 30 FPS, 900p 30 FPS, 720p 60 FPS, and 900p 60 FPS with Mac. That's with OS 26 is that one. Mac OS 15.0 or later chipset is M2 Pro, M3, M4. Ray tracing off on the M2 Pro and ray tracing on the M3 and M4. Again, same thing, 16 gigabytes of RAM and 150 gigabytes of storage, whether you get it from Steam or the App Store. Next Mac you're looking at with OS 15, and that's running the M3 Pro, M4 Pro, or the M5. Mac OS 15 or later. It says 1080p 30 FPS, 1080p 60 FPS. That's with the whole upscaler thing. I don't know, the graphic for the Mac is kind of weird. I've never played games on Mac, so forgive me for this. And then you guys can just see the rest of it for Mac here as I keep it up on the screen for a little bit. But if you're playing on Mac, hey, kudos to you. You got a game to play on Mac, but you may want to. I would prefer to get. I mean, I guess an M3 if you don't care playing on 1080p, the M3 Pro or higher. But like everything else underneath, playing at 900p or 720p, yeah, it's not worth it. Unless you're buying it from Steam and then you can play it on your Mac, your PC, or whatever. But just don't get it from the App Store, because then I think this is like restrict you to Mac. And then we get to the I don't know why they call this the ROG Xbox Ally specifications instead of the handheld specifications. But the ROG Xbox Ally, to my knowledge, kind of runs like the same chip as the Steam Deck. So I would assume this would also go for Steam Deck as well. 720p 3 frame gen. This is with FSR 3 frame generation enabled on the regular Xbox Ally. Again, that's the Z2A chip, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if that's like the same thing as Z2 Go or not, but I would assume so. It says 40 FPS is the target on that. Performance, it says upscaled from 720 to 1080p, FSR 3 super resolution, and frame gen. That'll net you 60 FPS. This is the Z2 Extreme chip. So the only thing for that Z2A chip was the 720p FSR3 frame gen, and that hits you at 40 FPS. So kind of keep that in mind. And then when it comes to the Z2E chip, because this is talking about the Xbox Ally X, so that this is probably the Ally X, the MSI Claw A8, the Legion Go 2, Z2 Extreme version. So just kind of keep that in mind, because that's the chip that the Xbox Ally X also has, even though it's the Z2 Extreme AI, but it's still the same shit. They just add AI shit to it. Performance, like I said, upscaled from 720p, FSR 3 frame gen, 1080p is, you can hit about 60. Upscaled from 720 to 1080p, FSR 3 super resolution, no frame gen, you're looking at 40 FPS. And then quality graphics preset, I'm guessing, will be 1080p 30 FPS. So not bad at all. Not bad at all. Unless this means, like, you know, like your performance, balance, and quiet presets, but that doesn't make any sense, because that would be quiet, balance, and then performance. So I'm guessing that's the graphics presets, and then it just kind of depends on where your TDP settings and stuff are. We're gonna test it. Y'all already know how we gonna do on this channel. We're gonna test it. We're gonna test the game on the Lenovo Legion Go 2, but majority of the gameplay will be done through my standard PC. That's where I'll be doing my streams on YouTube and Twitch. And yeah, so if you guys kind of want to see me play the game, just follow me on here, subscribe on here, or follow me on Twitch, and you guys will see me playing this game probably for the rest of the year. But that's off to the side from other games I'm trying to finish, and then other games I'm going to be playing for the channel when it comes to testing them out on the Legion Go 2. So anyways, y'all, I appreciate the support, and I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm out. Peace.